Hello everyone, my name is Bryce Chanis. I'm from the Camarillo High School Rocketry team. I am here to talk about our high school's high-power rocket that we are preparing to launch 1 week from today. Basically, it is a 3-inch minimum diameter carbon fiber rocket made from performance rocketry carbon fiber tubing, 3/16 inch G10 fins, and then Solar Composites 5.7 ounce carbon fiber tip-to-tip, with also a Wildman 3-inch filament wound fiberglass nose cone. The construction for this rocket is relatively straightforward for extreme high power rockets, with a few different things added in. The first being the fins, which are machine airfoiled to a diamond edge by Jared Shapiro, who did it on a 3-axis machine router. So they're diamond edged and then sloped back all the way to the tip. Those were tacked on using JB weld, and then tip to tip, and then filleted with JB weld also, and then finally we did layer of tip to tip, 2 layers of tip to tip on all 3 fins. So they're really strong, but relatively lightweight. The booster section is 44 inches long. At the top here, right above the coupler, we have an aluminum bulkhead. The aluminum bulkhead I made just out of aluminum round stock. It has a lip for to go into the coupler perfectly, and it's smooth, and so it fits in the tube nice and tight, so we don't leak any gases. And then the payload tube separates, that goes right on top here. So that's that. It started out as 60-inch carbon fiber tube all the way from Performance Rocketry, and we cut it in parts here so that the booster is just long enough to fit our Cicerone 6-grain motor all the way perfect, with no room to spare. Our electronics bay is in the coupler right on top of the motor that's attached here for like a zipperless design, basically. But all our electronics are going to be housed inside here, and will consist of a Raven 2 altimeter and a Perfect Flight Stratologger. Both will be controlling main and apogee deployment. At apogee, we deploy using a CO2 cartridge, which will be separate here, so it separates the main the payload tube from it, using a Roustex CO2 canister deployer. It's really good for high altitude rockets. This rocket is expected to hit almost 40,000 feet, and such that black powder doesn't burn very well unless it's highly contained. So we decided to use a smaller and safer route for doing the high altitude deployment, which was to use the CO2 to pressurize our tube, and then cause our apogee deployment. Our main deployment at 400 feet will be from a tender descender attached to the eye bolt. The main parachute will remain connected really close until the tender descender, which is almost like a quick release, releases the main parachute, which will be a 36-inch silk, small, lightweight parachute. The rocket right now, the other electronics it will have is in the nose cone. It is a Garmin Astro for tracking. It's good up to 7 miles. So we hope to be able to find the rocket, of course, afterward using that system. And it has to be in the fiberglass nose cone to prevent the RF interference from inhibiting it. Whereas if we put the tracker inside the carbon fiber tube, it would the signal would not be able to travel. So that was an important design consideration. Our drogue parachute I have here, it's a 12-inch. I think you can buy the ballistic chute. I think you can buy them from Aerocon Systems, but I could be wrong. I got it from a friend of mine who lives nearby. Well, our rocket, our first test flight, will be this coming Saturday on April 21st, 2012. We expect to reach an altitude of 36,000 feet on an M840 Longburn White Cicerone 6-grain motor. The motor produces almost 10 seconds of thrust, which is really good for altitude shots. We're using it as a test flight because our rocket was meant for speed, not altitude. So the first flight on the M840 will get us about Mach 1.8, and then, like I said, 36,000 feet. That will be a lot less stressful than our full flight, which hopefully will take place on May 5th, or Cinco de Mayo, out at the same site, and we're hoping to get over 40,000 feet, but we'll be pulling Mach 2.8 behind it there. So that's the kind of stats for the rocket. The flight will take place on this coming Saturday, April 21st, and will be at FAR, Friends of Amateur Rocketry, out at Mojave Desert. They've opened it. We got approval for our waiver 3 nights ago, and a friend of mine is hooking our team up with a launch tower so that we can fly this as streamlined as possible. I took it home this weekend to sand it all down. I sanded it all with 220 grit steer-rated sandpaper. So it doesn't look very beautiful right now. It's pretty gray all over, but it's uniformly gray and it's uniformly smooth, which is what we were hoping for. Come tomorrow morning, I will mix up a batch of the aero epoxy to do our clear coat, essentially, but it's a protective layer for everything, keeps everything locked together. We'll put it in tomorrow morning. We'll put it in our curing oven at 180 for about 4 hours. Then we're going to put another coat on, and put it in again overnight at 180. The high temp is to hopefully produce a little bit of temperature resistance, because the rocket will be going, like you said, about Mach 2.8 on its second flight, and we want it to be able to hold up to that really well, and also to give it that nice look. And so those are the first 2 coats. Then we're going to put on our decals from Sticker Shock. The rocket's name is Scorpion 1, and we have a lot of vendors and people that helped us out that we will put their names on and get all looking nice on the rocket. And then we'll put the last 2 layers of the clear coat, similar to how we did the first 2. And that will give the rocket a nice, really clean look, and then we'll sand it down again with the 400 and 600 grit, and then polish it out and make it really sleek and smooth, and see how close to glass finish we can get. That's about everything on the rocket here. The original intent for this design was to be able to fly some thermocouples in the nose cone and measure the heat that the rocket's going to experience at Mach 2.8. We think that it will reach about 800 degrees Fahrenheit for a few seconds as we go that fast. But as of right now, our data logger is not integrated yet. And so for the first flight, it's going to be just a flight test to see if we can get everything working. But hopefully in the next 2 weeks, I'll document us putting in the thermocouples into the nose, and we have an RDAS Rocketry data acquisition system that we bought, that hopefully we can use to track those thermocouple temperature changes, which is the whole experiment part of our rocket. Other than that, that's mostly it. We are really excited as a team to get this going. It's been about 6 months of a lot of hard work and a lot of money. There's been a lot of donors, local and long distance, who have donated not just money but also materials, time especially, and a lot of individuals that were able to do that, which really helped us out, and would definitely not be able to be where we are without those people. So that's about it for this rocket. I'll post later on this week as we continue to get closer. And I think that we are in a good place. I think we're ready to be able to get a successful flight, although it is the first time our school's ever flown a high-power rocket, and any of our team has flown an M-class motor to 36,000 feet. But that's the plan. If you guys have any questions or comments or concerns, we'd love to hear them. Post below or to the thread on the Rocketry Planet, or my name is Bandman444 on that. Give me a PM or something. Let us know so that we can hear what you guys are saying. As the week goes on, like I said, I'll post some more videos of our progress, and then flight videos and prep and photos and that kind of stuff. I'll see what I can do about posting that. Yesterday, new update, we test fired our CO2 system, our CD3 Rouse-Tech system. It worked flawlessly. It separated everything with about 15 feet of room in between. It's going to work, I think, really great as long as we set it up correctly and there's no user error, which I don't see us doing. But it's always an option for such a novice group, I think, of Rocketeers. But this whole project has been a really great experience for everyone who's a member. No one feels left out. A lot of people did a lot of the work, and we're all really ready to see this thing boogie, as one of our team members says. So it's going to be quite a flight. It's going to be quite an experiment to see. I think that if we're successful and we get the rocket back from its first flight, I'm going to call that a success. It's a high school rocket team. We used to do TARC, never really got good at that because of California rules, but we decided to step it up and really put a lot of energy and a lot of thought into making sure that this rocket will work, and I think that it will, and hopefully you guys think it will too. I will post more videos as progress happens, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.